wilder than I thought you are. Gina, you look a little wild. I feel a little bit wild. I do. I'm waking up some, you all. No, see, there's something worth knowing. Gina, honey, what is the something that's worth knowing? We're going to see it. We are going to see it. Y'all, hold on one second. You're going to just tune in. You're going to hear it. You want some good news? I'm going to tell you the good news. Trying to fold this over, y'all, to get it, Gina. Be of the light. Hello there. Be of the light, you are. We're going to come over here to, listen. We're coming over to the Ecclesiastes because why? There is value in the wisdom. Good morning. We got it going on. You all, we going to read something that's pleasant. Pleasant. Today is the October the 4th day. So we want to read something pleasant to just like start it off today. You all just start your morning off. Susan B. Honey, that's right. You all, I'm gonna stand up. I am gonna stand up a tad bit. Good morning. Y'all just tuning in. We got it going on. You're gonna have Ken Moats, honey. You're gonna have your coffee. I don't got nothing up here for me to drink except, well, I got some water. I can drink it. We can drink it. You all. We're gonna start you off with some good, wholesome words because there's value in it. This is this wisdom, you all. We're gonna hear some wisdom this morning. Let me flip it. We're at the Ecclesiastes. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and is common among men, a man to whom God has given riches and wealth and honor, so that he lacks nothing for himself of all he desires, yet God does not give him power to eat of it, but a foreigner consumes it. This is vanity, and it's an evil affliction. If a man begets 100 children and lives many years, so that the days of his years are many, and yet his soul is not satisfied with goodness, or indeed he has no burial, I say that a stillborn child is better than he, for it comes in vanity and departs in darkness, and its name is covered with the darkness. Though it has not seen the sun or known anything, this has more rest than that of a man. Even if he lives 1,000 years twice, but has not seen the goodness, do not all go to one place? You all just tuning in. Good morning. We're gonna flip it around, you all. All the labor, y'all, let's listen to this. All the labor of a man is for his mouth. That's what it says. All the labor for a man is for his mouth, and yet his soul is not satisfied. It's not satisfied at all, you all. It's not. I think I can do this like this. I'm going to set this Bible on my keyboard. We're going to infuse the technology. Let's use some technology. We got some keyboard in there with this, you all. You just tune in and we got to read it. We got to read it. Your labor is for your mouth. Your labor is for you. People do boast a lot about what they have, what they do, and all of this. Hello, good morning. You all just got it coming on. We got something good to say. Top of the day, top of the morning to you, Disa. You hear that song, Mandisa? It's a good morning. Yeah, Mandisa. I really like that song. It's a happy, happy song, Mandisa. She sings it. Look, all of the labor of man is for his mouth, yet his soul is not satisfied. For what more has the wise man than the fool? What does the poor man have who knows how to walk before the living? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of desire. This is also vanity, and it's grasping for the wind. Whatever one is, he has been named already, for it is known that he is man, and he cannot contend with him who is mightier than he, since there are many things that increase vanity. How is man the better? For who knows what is good for a man in life, all the days of his vain life, which he passes like a shadow? Who can tell a man what will happen after him under the sun. A good name. Now, this is important, you all. This is one of my favorite verses. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death better than one's birth. Better to go to the house of the morning than to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will take it to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by a sad countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of the morning, but the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. It's better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For like the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This is also vanity. Surely oppression destroys a wise man's reason, and a bribe debases the heart. The end of a thing is better than its beginning. The patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Do not hasten in your spirit to be angry, for anger rests in the bosom of fools. Do not say, why were the former days better than these? For you do not inquire wisely concerning this. Good morning, you all. We got this going on. Wisdom is good with an inheritance and profitable to those who see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, as money is a defense. But the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to those who have it. Consider the work of God, for who can make straight what he has made crooked? In the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider, surely God has appointed the one as well as the other. Nothing that will come after, so that man can find out nothing that will come out after him. Look at this, you all. I have seen everything in my days of vanity. There is a just man who perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs his life in his wickedness. Do not be over righteous, nor be overly wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Do not be overly wicked, nor be foolish. Why should you die before your time? It's good that you grasp this and also not remove your hand from the other, for he who fears God will escape them all. Wisdom strengthens the wise more than 10 rulers of a city. For there is not a just man on earth who does good and does not sin. Also, do not take to heart everything that people say. Don't take to heart listen, you all, this is important. If you're listening, you got some scripture coming in from the Ecclesiastes because it's valuable. Do not take to heart, we're in the 7th chapter on 21. Do not take to heart everything people say, lest you hear your servant cursing you. For many times also your own heart has known that even you have cursed others. All this I have proved by wisdom. I said, I will be wise. As for that which is far off and exceedingly deep, who can find it out? I applied my heart to know, to search and seek out wisdom and the reason of things, to know the wickedness and folly. He did. He wanted to know it. Even of foolishness and of madness. Could you imagine that? Searching to want to know what's going on with the foolishness and the madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, whose hands are fetters. You can say that of a man too, that I find more bitter than death, the man or the woman whose heart is snares and nets and whose hands are fetters. He who pleases God shall escape from them. You can say her, you can say it could be anybody nowadays, but the sinner shall be trapped by her. It's true, you all. Here is what I have found, says the preacher, adding one thing to another. to find the reason which my soul still seeks, but I cannot find. One man among 1,000 I have found, but a woman among all these I have not found. That is not very nice to speak like that about a woman, you. I'm just saying it. It's kind of, I don't think that's nice, because you could say that of anyone, really. Truly, this only have I found, that God made mankind upright, but they have sought out many schemes. You all, listen, I've never seen that before. We signaling out just the woman, just the woman. Like, if you just say like a wise man, it's how it was written back then. It really was, just like a wise person. And who knows the interpretation of things? A man's wisdom makes his face shine, but the sternness of his face is change. You ever see somebody? Their face is always stern. It's always stern. That verse always got me, because I could look at somebody's face and it looked like it was stern. But if you look at somebody's face and it's not stern, it's peaceful, that's the kind of face I always want to look at. Whenever I seen a stern face, I think, wow, this is valuable, you all. Listen, I say, keep the king's commandment for the sake of your oath to God. Do not be hasty to go from his presence. Do not take your stand for an evil thing, for he does whatever he pleases him. It's hard to read from the King James. I normally would read from the NSV. No, not NIV. NIV. But I read the King James in church while they were preaching and stuff. That's okay, you all. I can read it. Where the word of a king is, there is power. There is power, you all. When a king shows up, you got some power behind the king. You really, truly do. There is power behind it. Who may say to him, what are you doing? He who keeps his command will experience nothing harmful, and a wise man's heart discerns both time and judgment, because for every matter there is a time and judgment. Though the misery of a man increases greatly, for he does not know what will happen, so who can tell him when it will occur? Who can? No one has the power of the Spirit to retain the Spirit. And no one has the power in the days of death. There is no release from what? From that war. And wickedness will not deliver those who are given to it. You got some wickedness in you. The wickedness is not going to release itself from you. It's not. All of this I have seen, and applied my heart to every work that is done under the sun. There is a time in which one man rules over another to his own hurt. Then I saw the wicked buried, and who had come and gone from the place of holiness, and they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This is also vanity, because the sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner does evil 100 times, and his days are prolonged, yet I surely know that it will be well with those who fear God, who fear before him. But it will not go well with the wicked, nor will he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he does not fear before God. There is a vanity, you all. We got lots of vanity on the earth, which occurs on the earth, that there are just men to whom it happens according to the work of the wicked. Again, there are wicked men to whom it happens according to the work of the righteous. I said, this is also vanity. So I commend enjoyment, because a man has nothing better under the sun to eat, drink, be merry, for this will remain with him in his labor all the days of his life, which God gives him under the sun. When I applied my heart to know wisdom and to see the business that is done on earth, even though one sees no sleep day or night, you work yourself to death. It says, more or less. Look at that. You don't enjoy your life. Then I saw all the work of God, that a man cannot find out. the work that is done under the sun. For though a man labors to discover it, yet he will not find it. Moreover, though a wise man attempts to know it, he will not be able to find it. You will not be able to find it. You will not. For I considered all this in my heart, so that I could declare it all, that the righteous and the wise and their works are in the hand of God. People know neither love nor hatred by anything they see before them. All things come alike to all. One event happens to the righteous and the wicked, to the good, the clean and the unclean, to him who sacrifices and him who does not sacrifice. As is the good, so is the sinner. He who takes an oath as he who fears an oath. It all happens the same. There is an evil in all that is done under the sun. That one thing happens to all. It really does. It doesn't mean just time and chance. It's like you get fish caught in a net, in a snare. So men are caught by evil times that fall unexpectedly upon them. There's an evil. Truly the hearts of the sons of men are full of evil. Madness is in their hearts while they live, and after that they go to the dead. But for him who is joined to all the living, there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no more reward. For the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love, their hatred, and their envy have now perished. Nevermore will they have a share in anything done under the sun. So go eat your bread. Go eat your bread with joy. Drink your wine with a merry heart. For God has already accepted your works. Let your garments always be white, and let your head lack no oil. Live joyfully with the wife whom you love all the days of your vain life, which he has given you under the sun. All your days of vanity. This doesn't sound nice. For that is your portion in life, and in the labor for which you perform under the sun. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you're going. It stops. I returned and I saw under the sun that, this is where it is, you all. You just tuning in. This is some powerful words. That's right, you all. You need to know it. The race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to men of understanding, nor favor to men of skill. But time and chance happen to them all. For man also does not know his time, like fish taken in a cruel net, like birds caught in a snare. So the sons of men are snared in an evil time, when it falls suddenly upon them. T, honey, I'm trying to sit here and read some scriptures, and you're over here daydreaming. T, honey, I don't even know what you're apologizing for, but I'm trying to read the word of God, and you are over here. You're over here daydreaming, T, honey. You're giving me a hot flash. I don't need no hot flash this morning. My hair's already a mess. Come on now, T, honey. This wisdom I have also seen under the sun, and it seemed great to me. There was a little city with a few men in it, and a great king came against it. It besieged it and built great snares around it. Your frequency cracks me up. I love it. Okay, there was a great city. A great king came against the city, and the king besieged it, and he built great snares around it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no one remembered that same poor man. Then I said, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Words of the wise, spoken quietly, should be heard, rather than the shout of a ruler of fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good. You all, I really do agree with this. Wisdom is better than weapons of war. I really agree with that. Now listen. You got dead flies. Dead flies in chapter 10. Dead flies petrify the perfumer's ointment and cause it to give off a foul odor. So does a little folly to one respected for wisdom and honor, you all. This is telling you, you don't want to be a foolish person. If you're a wise person and a person of honor, no, it's going to destroy you. You want to watch out. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. Even when a fool walks among his way, he lacks wisdom, and he shows everyone that he is a fool. If the spirit of the ruler rises against you, do not leave your post, for conciliation pacifies great offenses. Look, you got some evil that I have seen under the sun. You all, they had so much evil back there under the sun. He noticed it all. We still got the evil under the sun. It's no different. Now, granted, he didn't go into graphic details. Roll the dice. That's its time and chance, T, honey. That's what they said. Time and chance. There's an evil I have seen under the sun as an error proceeding from the ruler. Folly. Folly is set in great dignity, while the rich sit in lowly place. I have seen servants on horses, while princes walk on the ground like servants. Now listen, this you people who dig your pits for others. He who digs a pit will fall into it, and whoever breaks through a wall will be bitten by a serpent. He who quarries stones may be hurt by them, and he who splits wood may be endangered by it. If the axe is dull, and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength. But wisdom brings success. It's truly. If your axe is dull and you're out there trying to swing it and split some wood, no, you're just gonna make great big indents in your wood. You're gonna be chopping for a long time. You really are. It's got to be sharp. You don't want to be digging pits for people, because you're liable to fall in it yourself, especially if you're digging it just to dig it with no. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You are. A serpent may bite when it's not charmed. You are. We got a serpent that may bite when it's not charmed. The babbler is no different. Are you a babbler? Are you? What's a babbler? Babbler is somebody who just goes on and on and on and on and on. It may bite you. It may bite you. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool shall swallow him up. The words of his mouth begin with foolishness. Are you all like this? You know people who like this? The words, oh my goodness. The lips of a fool will swallow him up, swallow up his own. The words of his mouth begin with foolishness. They don't even make sense. It's nonsense. And in the end, his talk is raving madness. Raving madness. Gina, that's not in there. There is. You're talking some foolish talk. Foolish talk. And in the end of your talk, it's raving madness. A fool multiplies the words. No man knows what is to be. Who can tell him what will be after him? The labor of fools wearies them, for they do not even know how to go to the city. Woe to you, O land, when your king is a child, and your princes feast in the morning. Blessed are you, O land, when your king is the son of nobles, and your princes feast at the proper time. For strength, I'll be talking about some strength, and not for drunkenness, because of the laziness of the building. Listen, you all, you got some laziness within you. Because of laziness, a building will decay. Your house is going to decay if you're lazy. And through the idleness of your hands, the house is going to leak. A feast is made for laughter, and wine makes merry, but money answers everything. I hear a bird outside on top of that thing, you all. Do not curse the king, even in your thought. Do not curse the rich, even in your bedroom. For a bird of the air may carry your voice, and a bird in flight may tell the matter. Well, listen to that. A bird of the air. Listen to that. Okay, let's think of drones or stuff like that, posing as animals and stuff. UAPs. Do not curse the king even in your thought. Do not curse the rich even in your bedroom. For the bird of the air, something is always listening. A bird of the air may carry your voice, and a bird in flight may tell the matter. Now this is good. Now this is the 11. You got some good things to come out. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Give a serving to 7, and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on the earth. If the clouds are full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if a tree falls to the south or the north, in the place where the tree falls, there it shall be. If this is the tree and it falls right here, that's where it's going to lay. Unless you come and cut it up, it's going to lay. If you fall, boom. How we doing over here, you all? You got some words? As it was in the days of Noah. Yeah, we got some Noah going on. It's been a cycle. We got it, you all. All right. In the place where the tree falls, it shall lie. And he who observes the wind will not sow. You sit there and just looking at the wind, you're not going to sow. And he who regards the clouds will not reap. You sit there looking at the wind and the clouds, and you're not going to be able to sow anything. You're not going to have anything to reap because you did not sow. You sat there idle. You let time pass you by. You just sit there looking. You're not sowing nothing. You're not laying no good seeds of kindness and stuff. You're not planting, spiritually speaking. So you're not going to reap. You're not going to reap. As you do not know what is the way of the wind, or how the bones grow in the womb of her who is with child. So you do not know the works of God who makes everything. In the morning, sow your seed, and in the evening, do not withhold your hand, for you do not know what will prosper, either this or that, or whether both alike will do good. Excuse me. Come on, you all. We got truly, 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 the light is sweet, and it's pleasant for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man lives many years and rejoices in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they will be many. All that is coming is vanity. This is what you got to do, you all, right here. We're at the 9. Is 9 completion? This is what you need to do. 11:9. Rejoice, oh young man. T, honey, are you on here? T, listen to me. T, listen. I want you to hear this, okay? This is important for you because I think you're a wild person. Yeah, but you may not. You just need to be reassured. So we're gonna flip it, T, honey. We're gonna flip it. Rejoice, young man, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and in the sight of your eyes, but know that for all these God will bring you into judgment. Therefore, remove sorrow from your heart and put away evil from your flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity. Now, CT, you already skipped out on us, so you didn't even get to hear it, but other people heard it. Yeah, this really is true. This is the ending of the Ecclesiastes. We're in the 12th chapter. Remember now your Creator in the days of your youth, before the difficult days come. For the years draw near when you say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun and the light, the moon and the stars are not darkened, and the clouds do not return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men bow down, when the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look through the windows grow dim, when the doors are shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding is low, when one rises up at the sound of a bird, and all the daughters of music are brought low. Also they are afraid of height, and of terrors in the way. When the almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper is a burden, and his desire fails. For man goes to his eternal home, and the mourners go about in the streets. Remember your Creator before the silver cord is loosed, or the golden bow is shattered, or the pitcher shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the well. Then dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. All is vanity. Listen. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yes, he pondered and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find acceptable words, and what was written was upright, words of truth. The words of the wise are like goads, and the words of scholars are like well-driven nails by one shepherd. And further, my son, be admonished by these, of making many books. There is no end, and much study is wearisome to the flesh. Let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all. For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil. Whether good or evil. That's Ecclesiastes. But where's the one thing? Vanity and vanity. All is vanity. Yeah, you got a good name, it's better than fine perfume. A good name is better than fine perfume. Look at this. This is in the fourth. The fourth. The fool folds his hands and consumes his own flesh. Better a handful with quietness than both hands full, together with toil and grasping for the wind. I returned, and I saw vanity under the sun. There is one all alone without companion. He has neither son nor brother, yet there is no end to all his labors, nor his eyes satisfied with his riches. But he never asks, for whom do I toil and deprive myself of good? This is also vanity and a grave misfortune. You're working yourself to death. And to what end? You better start living your life. No, we're going to end it right here. We're going to end it. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So there is, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3. You can see it. It starts off 3 through 8. 3 through 8. I'm going to go. Yeah, so we got it going on, you all. This is a 34 minutes long, you all. We got it happening. May God and may May the grace that is extended to us be extended to others also, truly. And may we look at others through our hearts of love. May we look at them through eyes of love. Even though, oopsie, even though you may think, well, they don't deserve my love. Well, it's kind of hard. I know it. You got to look at others through eyes of love and just try to keep your frequency up. We're living in some challenging times. We really are, you all. It is. So thank you all for tuning in. Today is the October the 4th. It is, you all. We got to wait for the time to happen. The verse ends for a time of war and a time of peace. That's right. You got it going on. You're leaving your electronics on today. I'm not going to turn nothing off at all. I'm not. I'm not. Do I think anything will happen? I can say there's a 50% chance something would happen. Am I afraid? Not one single bit. No. No, because see, this is how it works. I don't think something will happen. Well, something did happen. They removed something from the speaker of the you-know-what, but I don't talk politics. There's things going on behind the scenes, spiritually speaking, and every year, either October the 3rd or 4th, whatever the Wednesday I think falls on, they do this. This is the 7th year that this has been happening, but they're doing it twofold now. Twofold. So I'm going to go, you all. We got it going. Don't be afraid. You keep going and live your life and make the most of your life while you can. Enjoy it. And make sure you're coming from a position of love. Really, right here. Pure intention. So that being said, hello. Wherever you are in any part of the world, hello. From my heart to yours. They're doing it in Russia. Daryl Calhoun, what they doing in Russia? They doing that in Russia with the... Let's hope the aliens don't come today. Let's hope we don't have an alien invasion. That's right. That's right. We need you, Gina, out here. We're going to be out here, you all. I'm going to keep track of it. I am going to keep track of that today. I might scour the headlines and look in comments. I might. Love you all too. Have a wonderful, thank you, moderators. Thank you all for your comments. You all, we need to have some peace. Peace before the storms come. That's right. Got to get yourself grounded and solidified. Hello, Solara. I'm going to go, you all. We got it going. Love you.